Hello, we're going to talk through the Fonda K20z4 Kswap harness today. Show you where the connectors go, give you a better idea of when it comes to installing it. So we're going to start outside the cabin, so in the engine bay area. So first connector is a 42 way. You'll find the mating part to this on the passenger side strut tower. Dead easy, there's only one of them. So clip it into position. You do need to bolt it down to its mating part securely. So there's just a 10mm bolt built into that. We don't use any of the fan wiring, fan relay, or the fan itself on the swap. So it does come with brand new dedicated fan wiring. Also comes with the fan. The fan you see here actually comes with the swap. So just run this down to the radiator area and install the fan with the fitting kit that comes with it. We need to run a starter igniter on the K20z4. So just run this wire, you'd run it with the charge harness, and that simply just plugs into the starter motor itself. We have a ground. This can be installed either onto the battery or onto the chassis. It doesn't really matter which. If you're going to install that onto the chassis, please make sure that you have a nice clean ground connection. So remove the paint underneath the ring terminal and make sure it's bolted down securely. A lot of the swap won't work unless that has a really good ground. So just be very careful of that. We supply an ignition with the kit. We suggest that this is for your power steering module. So either for the Mercedes A-Class or the MR2, they do require an ignition, so you can use it for that. You require a Honda primary O2 sensor. I try and get the one from the swap that you're getting the other parts from if you can. It does have to be a Honda primary O2 sensor. It definitely won't work with the Ford. As you can see, it's pre-wired for a Honda primary O2. Internally, we have an OBD. I'm sure you've seen 1,000 of these. So this is for reading information from the ECU, and also if you're by the ECU Tech software from Paul at TPW, this is how you will download your map. You'll see a connector on there. If you are doing remote download or remote tuning through Ecotech, it does require that you have a permanent feed on there. So we actually supply another connector for this with a fly lead. So Paul will be able to talk you through it. But if you do require to do download, Bluetooth, anything like that you're doing mapping remotely, you will have to fit a permanent feed to it, and there isn't one on the harness because it doesn't use it. But full instructions are given on the kit and that comes with it. Nice change that we've managed to get working on this swap is we're now able to use the original Ford drive-by-wire pedal. No messing around with brackets, Honda pedals, or etc. So Ford connector, just run that behind the dash. Nice position, make sure it's away from all of the air vents, etc. Clip home, and that will work perfectly instead of a Honda pedal. We do have a couple of extra wires on there, which is for your brake and also for your clutch. This allows you to do flat foot shifting and also blip on downshift. It's only relevant if you have a mapped ECU. It won't do anything if you have just the immobilizer removed. Full instructions are given. If you're not sure, WhatsApp me or drop me an email, and I can obviously talk you through that. On the Fonda, we tend to use the EP3 cluster. So the harness comes pre-wired with the EP3 plugs on it. It has the ABS and also the SRS light removed as part of the wiring. So that's quite a nice little touch. There are some wires to connect, which are for power and a couple of telltales, such as indicator, fog light, etc. Full instructions are given with the Ford pin numbers, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. As ever, if you ever have any problems, you're more than welcome to just drop us a quick WhatsApp. Ideally WhatsApp, and then I can send you files or other documents across. The K20z4 comes with two modules. This is our multiplex module. The K20z4 ECU can't send coolant and battery information to the dash. So we have an EP3 module that we use on a couple of other vehicles. So that will be wired. So on the EP3 dash, you'll get coolant, you'll get battery warning, you'll get VSS or speed, you'll get RPM. Unfortunately, you won't get the mill light. That is sent by CAN to the original vehicle, and until we get that information, we won't get it. It will still put the car into limp if you have an issue, so you know it won't allow you to do things that you shouldn't be able to do, but you won't get a telltale on the dash. As per all of our K20z4 harnesses, we have our priority MICU replicator. This makes the ECU think basically that it's still in a Honda vehicle. So it replicates the information come from the MICU, or more commonly known as the body control module, to make the ECU happy, think it's in a Honda car, and so that the swap parts work correctly. onto the ECU connections. So these two connections here are part of the swap harness. The 3 connections you can see here, these would come from the original K20z4 engine harness. So they plug into B and C, and obviously that just runs in. Plug it in. As you can see, it's got a keyway, so it'll only go one way. Plug it in and plug it home, and exactly the same with the ECU connector. There are 2 wires to connect on the K20z4, one being for the oil pressure warning light for the dash, and one being the coolant information for the multiplex adapter. So we have yellow red, and we also have red white. Both of those pins are both in the B connector. You'll spot them because they're yellow red and red white, so you can't really miss them. Instructions are given, but it probably just is easy to go by color. If you're not sure, the plug itself is numbered, but it is numbered from right to left. So just take a good look. I said they are fully numbered, and the pin numbers are given on the instructions. When you're connecting these wires, you mustn't break the wires leading to the ECU. So find the wires that you need, bear it back so that you can see the copper interior, and just connect the wire onto the wire. Again, I mustn't stipulate enough, especially with the coolant, you mustn't break the wire, otherwise it'll cause issues with the running of the vehicle. So ideally solder, or alternatively T connector or Scotch lock, however you want to do. If you're using any of those, just make sure that it's insulated and protected once it's done. The relay that you can see is for the fan. This is on all of the Fonda harnesses. Again, we don't use any of the fan wiring from the original Fiesta, so you can remove all of that big bulky horrible thing it is. So this is the fan relay. With the K20z4 being a more comprehensive ECU, we don't need to run any form of switching for it. All of the switching for the fan is done remotely by the ECU. So that's that. So it's just pretty much as easy as you can get it, other than a couple of wires on the ECU and a couple of wires on the cluster. Pretty much everything else is plug and play. As ever, if you have any issues, feel free to give us a WhatsApp, email, telephone call. All of the information is on the spec sheets that you'll get. Enjoy your Fonda.